An incredible number of people had gathered in a large stadium, with the name Awakening Square, and were approaching the platform in the center.
Finally! I've been waiting for this day for 10 years, said the red-haired protagonist apparently.
This world was packed with different superpowers, with combinations of game and reality. People in this world could awaken different abilities and characteristics, of course after the age of 18. At this point, the hero began to walk around and see who had already awakened what abilities, such as
superpowers have been awakened. Congratulations! Category of ability, life class. Name of superpower, raising chickens.
A message popped up above the head of a guy with long blonde hair.
Mom, our fried chicken restaurant is getting a franchise and will go to a whole other level, he shouted.
He awakened this superpower because he was touched by a sacred hand from heaven. All the people who were standing around this guy clapped for him. Abilities are divided into 3 categories: attack, support, and life. Those who possess the life class are considered as normal people. Support is a very costly class. It requires a huge amount of resources at the beginning, so it's very difficult for a support whose family isn't very powerful to grow. At this moment, the ability was awakened by another girl who was clearly not happy that she had awakened the attack class, but the weapon fighter class.
But I didn't want to be an attacker. I wanted to just be a regular girl and just grow flowers.
Sobbing, she screamed as the people around her tried to calm her down.
For me, becoming a warrior, one of the attacking class, is my goal in life,
thought the hero confidently as he clenched his fist in front of him.
There are countless dungeons, secret areas, hidden realms and monsters in this world. But there is only one way to become stronger, to awaken as a warrior and defeat all monsters. And I am Lin Han, I am the man who will become the strongest in this world, began to dream the hero, imagining how he lifts a huge sword with one hand. But his reverie was interrupted by someone tapping him on the shoulder. Hey Lin Han, it's your turn to go, said the protagonist's friend in a whisper. Wan Qiang?
Lin asked in surprise.
The teacher has been watching you for a while now because there's no one in front of you anymore, said the friend. Oh no, that's not enough, thought the hero with fear as the teacher continued to stare at him with an evil look. Don't hold people back on the day of awakening, Lin, she said, but she was interrupted by the protagonist running up. This teacher's name was Yan Shuwei.
Han, she said with an annoyed look on her face.
Lin, when you become a warrior, the two of us can destroy monsters and raise our level, shouted Wang, turning to the fleeing Lin. Wait until I come back and become king, replied the hero.
After reaching the stairs, he had already calmly started to climb up.
As you enter this magic circle, do not resist its power. You are the chosen warrior. I place my hopes in you, said the teacher.
Awakening superpowers were closely related to talents, but they were also influenced by personal desires.
I want to become a warrior. I want to become the strongest, Lin thought as he entered the magic circle.
Suddenly, a huge pillar of energy rose into the sky, emanating from the main character.
Oh my god! Lin Han's superpower looks frightening. What kind of ability has he awakened?
The crowd of people began to speak in horror as they looked at that beam of light.
What? What's coming?
Wang asked, covering his face with his hand.
It's a hidden profession. Besides the 3 main ability classes, there is another very rare and special class. It's called the hidden class. Awakening the hidden class can lead to abnormalities. It's a unique praise from heaven and earth for the hidden professions,
the teacher replied to him, looking at the hero in surprise.
Wow, this means that Lin Han will possess the strongest superpowers,
with joyful surprise, looking at the protagonist who saw the message in front of him.
Congratulations, you have gained a superpower, hidden class. The name of the ability is Victim, was written in this message. Impossible. Why am I a victim?
The shocked hero asked himself, not expecting this turn of events. Looking at this message, Lin's face drooped. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Suddenly he's a victim to everyone. Poor kid, he's so pitiful, said the teacher,
looking at the incomprehensible main character. Teacher, the pillar of light that came from Lin was very strong. That means he has strong superpowers. Then why should he be pitted? Wang asked. Hearing this, the hooded teacher turned towards him. Sacrifice, it's a special case in the magic system. Unlike most magic superpowers, they help allies by singing different battle songs. Different battle songs have different enhancements. It is indeed a very powerful support ability, his teacher explained to him. However, its path to level up is unrealistically difficult, he added. The cultivation system for professionals in this world has 9 stages, and each stage has 10 levels. In addition, he needs to utilize unique element sources, which means he needs to penetrate into the heart of a catastrophe. Even a level 60 person wouldn't dare to penetrate deep into the heart of the disaster. He continued to narrate, according to the pyramid principle. In the history of each of the hidden professions, not a single one exceeded the 10th level. After that, this profession was deemed the most useless, said Teacher Yang sadly. Terrible. It's a very powerful natural force that is related to forbidden spells, thought Wang, still not understanding anything. Lin Han, don't feel bad, at least you have a hidden profession. She tried her best to cheer up the hero. Could it be that Lin Han is doomed to be mediocre in this world? Thought the teacher. Walking through the evening streets, the hero read his characterization. 5 attributes, but only 3 of them exceed 100. But those basic attributes are stronger than other people's. If I want to be a warrior, the starting attributes are perfect in general. Lin looked at his stats, which included level, stamina, agility, magic, control, and strength. Okay, let's see what my abilities are, he thought, opening another tab on the screen in front of him. Ban Magic. The ability can suppress magical elements within a 50-meter radius, converting them into your own magical power. Song of Healing. Chant the goddess of life and unleash an aura of healing to heal your allies. Song of Summoning. Chant the god of death and unleash an aura of death to weaken your opponent and summon an underground undead creature. Song of Seduction. Chant the goddess of Allen, releasing a hypnotic aura that does not cause negative effects such as madness, hypnosis, attachment, malice, and more. Song of Bliss. Chant the Divine Garden, releasing a blissful aura that will give all of your allies a random enhancement. Read Lin. Unfortunately, I've become a full support, and all 4 skills I have are support skills, he began to reason. A support character at level 10 isn't even comparable to a normal person with a life class, he said. After his words, a message came to him. System Tutor officially goes online after detecting that the host is in a frozen state. The 10,000th reinforcement system has been activated, wrote the message. Yay, there's finally a cheat code, Lin thought happily. This system can boost any item chosen by the admin 1,000 times, without any restrictions, said the system. System, can you increase my numbers in the characteristic and ability bar a few thousand times? The hero asked, already anticipating what was about to happen. Sure. The characteristic and ability panel has been improved. Please check if everything is correct, said the system. After these words, the main character opened the tab, and really noticed that his stats had increased several thousand times, as well as his abilities, which had changed their names: Guardian Angel, Undead Summoner, Fallen Interference, and Chaos Domination. Unbelievable! 4 forbidden level spells, and base attributes that have been increased several thousand times. With this set, I definitely have a chance of passing into disaster, said Lin as he read these incredible abilities. Lin Han, I finally caught up with you, said a tired Wang who was catching up with the hero. You're really not paying attention, you got the ability and left right away. I wanted to talk to you some more, Wang said with severe shortness of breath. In 7 days, there will be a major university entrance exam. In those days, I will accompany you to raise the level in the dungeons to increase our strength and level, and we will enter there together, he continued to say. Ha 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 ha! Wang Chang, are you joking? An unknown voice mockingly asked, to which he and the main character turned round. Lin Han awakened the most useless superpower, and you still want to go to university with him? You still want to do extra work for others? The purple-haired guy walking with his entourage said smugly with a sneer. Gao Chong, can you just shut up? It's not like he awakened the nefarious superpower of a martial thief like you. What's great about your ability? One shouted, pointing at Gao Chang's flaws. Lin Han, I told you before, good grades don't mean anything, he said, walking towards the protagonist. But Lin punched him and threw him back into the wall. What was that? Gao's henchman asked. Boss, are you okay? The other one asked, running towards him. Gao had left a large dent after flying into the wall with tremendous force. What did you just say? Are you saying you can single-handedly take me down with one left hand? The hero asked, kneading his hands after the blow. Don't be so self-righteous. When I reach the 10th level, or even the 2nd stage in a few days, you'll be useless. You won't be able to do anything against me, shouted Gao threateningly while Lin and Wang stood there smiling. I'll make you regret being born. The battered Gao continued to threaten, but he wasn't taken seriously. But the protagonist crunched his fingers. Those bullies were scared. They're supposed to be very disappointed, he said as he reached the door of his house. After which he took out his keys and started to open the door. I'm home. It smells like something delicious. Is Dad making dinner tonight? Lin asked his parents in the kitchen. Are you back, Lin? Since it's wake-up day, our boss let us off an hour early to celebrate with you, said his mom as she cooked different dishes, along with his dad. Wash your hands before you sit down to eat, she said, adjusting the food on your plate. You're officially an adult today. Do you want to have a drink with your dad? The protagonist's father asked, handing him a bottle. Okay. And yes, about my waking up, said the protagonist with uncertainty. Your teacher told us everything, said the father, pouring him alcohol. I'm sorry, said Lin in a guilty voice. A warrior isn't someone who dreams of becoming one, so it's not the end of the world, said the already drunk father, in a cheerful voice. He's right, you can improve even with another class, added to his father's words his mum. Well, don't worry and don't get discouraged, son, you have to work hard. This toast is for your future, shouted the father. Don't worry, I won't give up, Lin said, hitting the mug with his parents. Mum, do you need help? The hero asked as she cleaned up after dinner. Nah, I'm fine, you can rest and watch something on the TV, she replied. Son. Here, this is for you, said the drunken father, handing the protagonist an antique black box. What's this? Lin asked, holding this box, which was the size of half of the protagonist's height. It's a present from your mom and dad, replied the already almost asleep in the chair, drunken father. Oh, he finally gave it to you? It's a treasure that has been passed down in our family from generation to generation, said Mum, coming out from around the corner of the kitchen. A treasure? Well, it really does look like an old thing, thought the hero. This box was passed down from our ancestors. In our family it's over 100 years old, maybe even 200. Your father may look like this now, but centuries ago, his family was quite prestigious, said Mum as Lin tried to pick up his father to carry it to the sofa. Was it really like that? He's so heavy. Mom, give me a hand, help me, he said as he continued to try and lift Dad. You little brother, our family may be poor now, but generations ago our family was powerful. This thing should fit you perfectly since your abilities are related to magic. Take this item with you when you go to training tomorrow. Lin read the note lying in this box. After a while, he also unpacked the main item that was in the box. Wow! This is a gold-level magical equipment set. In the market, such a mid-level equipment would cost me at least 1 million dragons. So it also has both offensive and defensive abilities. It's just something. Lin rejoiced as he watched the characteristics of the staff, with a blue stone in it, standing in a white cloak. System, add these 2 pieces of equipment to your inventory, and enhance them please, he said. Please wait a few seconds, she replied as an unusual glow came out of the hero's room. The enhancement is complete. Both items have been upgraded 10,000 times, said the system, after which the cloak and staff changed beyond recognition. They were upgraded to legendary level. The ordinary wooden staff became a staff with a sphere on it, and the cloak received gold inlays and enhanced defense. Meanwhile, Lin read the new characteristics of these items. I'm incredibly lucky, he thought. Mages have always been good at close combat. From now on I will be known as, the hero went on to say, a melee healer, Lin said pathosly as his joyful silhouette was visible on the street. I need to enter the first stage after reaching level 10. But in order to do so, I will need to absorb the primordial elements, he analyzed as he lay looking at his smartphone. Master needs to go to Catastrophe to get the primordial elements, the system reminded him. Catastrophe Havoc, said the protagonist in his head, while reading the replies under his question on the social network. In which cave near Hoyu City can you find a portal to Catastrophe? And one user replied, Are you looking for Catastrophe? My respect, whoever you are. There is a High Zay kingdom near your city. The kingdom of High Zay consists of a long coastline and many volcanoes and islands. This place is packed with different kinds of monsters, dragons, lizards, huge snakes and many more such nasty creatures. And hurricanes and very strong gusts of wind are constantly raging on the surface of the water, causing unimaginable natural disasters. And then the main character gets a message from Wang. Lin, let's team up tomorrow? He asked. I can't, replied the protagonist. After that, his friend sent another message. Why not? I picked a suitable dungeon with low-level monsters. It's perfect for a support class after all. Raising levels as a team is too slow. It will be better and faster for both of us to level up alone. And there will be a better chance of getting into a top university, Lin wrote. Wang only replied to this message with a crying emoji. Don't get overwhelmed. If I can't reach the first stage, I'll finish walking alone, and we'll destroy mid-level monsters together. I'll be happy to walk with you. The main character reassured him. I've got you on my word. When I reach the second stage, you'll join me. Okay? Wang asked. After which, Lin sent a cat sticker with the word deal on it. Forgive me, but the High Zay realm is too dangerous for your current level, he thought. Alright, it's getting late now. I should be going to bed by now. I hope tomorrow goes great, said the hero looking at the time. The next day they came to a tall, white teleportation tower. To the High Zay kingdom, please, said Lin, putting his passport on the panel to confirm his identity. Identity identified. Passage authorized, said an electronic voice. After her words, a large blue portal opened in front of the hero. Well, good luck to me, he said, approaching this portal with his staff and robe. Lin stretched his hand into it, and his fingers were already in a different place. When he fully entered the portal, a completely different terrain appeared before him. A sign? There's something written on it. Let's take a look, the hero said as he approached it. Be careful when hunting, or else tears will flow. Entry is forbidden to those who have not yet reached the second stage or higher. This place is not at all as scary as the sign says. Maybe the danger is far from here? Thought aloud to the protagonist while behind him stood a huge creature that came closer and closer to the main character. Seeing its shadow, Lin turned around slowly with fear. What the hell is that? He shouted in surprise upon seeing this creature. After saying those words, the monster roared very loudly. This monster was like a mixture of a toad, a turtle, and a crocodile. Immediately after the monster started screaming, the hero summoned huge blocks of ice in the sky coming out of the blue portals, and then pointed them at the creature. These blocks flew down at a tremendous speed that it was almost impossible to dodge them. Covered by a magical barrier, Lin watched as the ice finished off the monster. But he turned out to be not so stupid. He unleashed a sound wave that scattered the blocks of ice in different directions. My head! It's going to explode, thought the hero, holding his head just because of that sound wave. Careful, master, the magical barrier can block physical and magical attacks, but it won't help against non-material attacks, the system said worriedly. Who are you looking down on? Lin said in a not outrageous voice, turning to the creature. Disturbing dust, lost travelers, the embittered cries of the gods, the calls of countless stars, thoughts of universal evil, the rebirth of right order, great god of chaos, I am your most devout, most faithful follower. The protagonist began to chant the god of chaos, raising his staff upwards, whereupon it began to glow. Forbidden spell, chaos domination, he shouted echoingly. At the same moment, a huge burning meteorite that was 1,000 times bigger than that monster flew from the blammo sky towards the monster. As the meteorite flew, fiery chunks of fire broke off from it. Its smoke covered almost the entire sky above the protagonist and the monster. And then the meteorite hit the ground, after which there was a very bright explosion of incredible proportions. The shockwave from this explosion tore trees from their roots. And there was a big circle in the clouds where the meteorite came from. Meanwhile, somewhere else. Minister, we've received a warning that the magical energy index in Hoyu City has increased too dramatically, said a man in uniform, addressing what appeared to be one of the most important people in the country, the minister. Could this be a strike from the enemies? He added. The city of Hoyu is at the center of the country's entire military defense. It is guarded on all sides by 10 or more major cities, and it's impossible that we wouldn't receive an alarm from the other major cities if there was indeed an enemy strike, replied the minister with an angry face. Hello, sir, said a uniformed man with an order hanging on his chest. Open the search screen, shouted the minister. Ask your superiors if there are any powerful people among them who can control forbidden spells, he continued to say, looking at the magic wave monitor. Affirmative, replied the officer. After those magic waves were scanned, a red warning sign popped up on the screen. Warning, danger! Magical energy is approaching. After the minister read this message, he called out to the top brass. Boss, I want to announce that the entire Hoyu city should go into a defensive state, right now. And we must immediately locate the source of this powerful magical energy and wait for the next move. A huge tsunami caused by the meteorite was coming towards the city. In addition to that, there were lightning bolts in the sky that were striking this tsunami. Warning to all the residents of Hoyu City, our city is declaring the highest level alert. Citizens, please evacuate your homes immediately, gather all important belongings and proceed to the central shelter. I repeat, gather all important belongings and proceed to the central shelter. Rang out on all radios, televisions, and in all streets. The tsunami was destroying the building one by one, giving them no chance to stand. Residents reached the center of the city and took turns going into shelters, watching the slowly approaching natural disaster. And as this tsunami approached them, a huge shield activated, protecting the surviving center, with all the inhabitants of the city. It didn't let a single drop of water inside. Is the shield working well? Asked an unknown man, with robotic arms. The first wave was blocked. We have already organized an evacuation in case of further danger if the shield breaks through, said the other man. Meanwhile, in the teleportation tower, which was also under the shield, preparations were being made to leave immediately from there. The squad has finished assembling. Please issue orders that they are ready to leave at any time, said the man in a loud, commanding voice. All items and rewards for destroying monsters have been collected, said the system, addressing the main character. Although it takes a lot of experience to reach level 10, seeing this set of items makes one proud of oneself, said Lin confidently, looking at what he had collected during his time spent in the High Zay Kingdom. Congratulations, Master, you have obtained a rare ability book. Do you want to use the enhancement, with your already improved abilities 10,000 times? The system asked. Of course, if it's a new ability, of course I want to, replied the hero with interest. After using the book, the hero discovered a new ability of forbidden level, called Grace of the Gods. After reading the description of this ability, Lin said, "This is savage. Just silently taking someone else's life is a great way to quietly prove yourself." And then the main character begins to shake along with the ground. He turned his attention to the source of the noise and the catalyst of the earthquake. It was a huge erupting volcano, whereupon Lin said, finding favor with it, "Look over there. I must gather the fire element as soon as possible. And then also find the water element as well." After which, he didn't hesitate to go there. "According to the directions on the map, this is most likely the place," he said as he approached the eruption site. While the volcano was erupting, the monsters inside and near it turned to ash. "It looks like I won't run into them again," Lin continued to reason as he jumped over the burnt soil and the cooled lava. "I found it! The fire elemental," he said as he saw the crystal cube in front of him with a fiery aura swirling around it. "Would you like to put the fire elemental in your inventory?" "Yes, no." A message popped up in front of Lin, and of course he pressed yes. "I never thought I'd get the fire elemental so easily." "Well, don't get too excited. I still need to find the air elemental," he said cheerfully. The protagonist went to the islands in the middle of the ocean, or rather they weren't islands, they were geysers. From the geysers huge streams of hot water burst upwards. But that's not the only problem, there are also constant storms, rain and lightning. But the protagonist can't be bothered. Standing on his staff he flew to his destination and said, "According to the map, the water elemental should be right here." He summoned a beam of light that pierced a huge swirl of water that reached up to the clouds. "I found it!" he shouted, flying up to the ice crystal that was the center of this entire column of water. A short while later, after Lin had gathered all the items he needed. "At this time, not only have I obtained 2 elemental sources of strength from natural disasters, but also countless equipment and various materials. If I put all the equipment and materials I've obtained on the market, I'll definitely make a good profit," he thought as he looked at his packed inventory with various weapons, metals, fabrics, and gems. "All right, all the components are assembled. Let's get back home," he said, walking towards the portal. "Attention alert, due to the city entering maximum alert mode, all broadcast channels will be halted and beyond that disconnected. Please follow the instructions of the teleportation tower staff for an organized evacuation to the central shelter." The voice continued to broadcast throughout the city, including the tower itself. Upon entering the portal, Lin noticed that it had become chaotic, with everyone running around panicking and out of place. "It's here! The tsunami is here! Get out of the way! Get out of the way, you're not the only one here!" shouted people, running out of the tower. "What's going on?" the main character asked with a misunderstanding of the situation. "I'm sorry, but the portal is closed at the moment," said the woman apprehensively. "It's closed? But I just came back from it," said the man. "I'm sorry, then you are unrealistically lucky. You must come with me to the evacuation point." She was worried, causing her to speak very fast. "Evacuation?" the hero interjected. "You certainly don't know yet, but a monstrous magical energy has sent a huge tsunami in our direction, and now there is chaos all over the city of Hoyu. It is said that this mysterious magical power apparently came from the direction of the High Zay Kingdom. Please come this way, I will take you to the evacuation point." She explained the entire situation that was happening. "The mysterious magic power that came from the High Zay Kingdom? Isn't that where I used the forbidden technique?" Lin thought, looking at the frightened teleportation tower worker. "It's my mistake. I miscalculated the strength of the forbidden spell, and the tsunami that caused it nearly destroyed my hometown," he thought, then clenched his wand with anger at himself. Where are you going, traveler?" she asked Lin, who went to deal with the tsunami. Meanwhile, an energy dome still hangs over the city of Hoyu. It turns out that this magical shield was caused by a few dozen people with magical abilities. They are standing on a huge thick stone wall called the Wall of Life, summoning pillars of light that entwine with each other, making an energy dome. The monitors show that the wall of life has reached its maximum power. It won't last much longer, said a soldier wearing a helmet that covers his entire face and white armor. What? The minister, with inserts of the same white armor, asked warily. 5 minutes to go before the next wave arrives, warned the soldier. Pass on my orders that all the strongest humans above level 30 be summoned to the wall of life to reinforce it. Also, immediately summon help from other neighboring cities. Hoyu is in danger, we can't waste a second of time, shouted the minister, giving orders to the other soldiers in white armor. That's right, they said. The wall of life must resist by any means necessary. If we fail, then the city will be completely destroyed. We can't give up defending the city. There are people left here, he shouted. Oh no! This is no good. Cracks have been found in the wall of life, and at this rate, continued the soldier who was watching the situation unfold. What, at this rate? The minister asked. In that case, I have to do it, he said tensely. The minister placed his palm on the floor and summoned a magic circle before shouting. On my command, reverse gravitational energy. Flip the shields and get them back to good condition before the second tsunami wave hits. Don't spare any energy. The fate of the entire city and the lives of ordinary people depend on it. Yes, it worked, he said happily, thinking it had worked. As he did so, the shield weakened and water began to drip into the city. I can't do it anymore. Magic can't defeat a raging tsunami, said the soldier holding the tsunami barrier. I can't, said another, falling to the ground while releasing the magic circle. Hey! Hold it a little longer! We have to make a stand! Shouted another soldier, trying to cheer up his fellow soldiers. Looks like the city of Hoyu is going to disappear from the world's maps forever today, the officer thought worriedly as he looked at the weakening shield. And then the main character starts to strengthen and heal all the soldiers on the wall of life, using the guardian angel ability, causing a chant to come out of his staff. How? Where is this magic coming from? I can feel my strength returning. My body is getting stronger and filled with energy. Now we need to renew the magic barrier, said the soldiers whose strength was returning. Prepare to receive and then hold the second wave of the tsunami, said the main man on the wall of life. Minister, I don't understand how, but the shield has been fully restored. Now we can continue to hold the tsunami. We're even ready to withstand a few more waves, said a soldier who was monitoring all the events. Keep the barrier as strong as you can, and those who have energy left, open a portal and dump all the water from the tsunami in there. Start right now, the minister ordered those on the wall. The mega portal you ordered to summon has appeared successfully. The tsunami level is dropping. The soldier added his words, happy news. The tsunami water level has almost dropped to normal. The barrier has been disabled, he said, looking at the water getting below the level of the wall of life. It worked. It worked, said the soldier on the wall of life with a shocked face. Yes, we did it! We did it! They shouted and cheered as Lin flew his staff and looked to see if everything was okay. That's a small part of what I could do, he said, making sure everything was okay and no one was hurt. That was close. The power of forbidden spells is too powerful and strong. I need to be careful when I use it in the future if I don't want a repeat of today, thought the main character as he continued to stand the wand over the water. The next moment, his phone started to vibrate. Lin Han, nothing happened to you, are you okay? The tsunami hit the city and almost broke through, and on top of that you didn't answer my phone calls. I almost lost my mind, his mum said worriedly. I completely forgot, thought Lin. Mum, you don't worry, I'm fine. I didn't get the signal that you called because I was at the shelter. Yes, I'll be back a little later, he answered her, trying to get out of it any way he could. The disaster is over, you can go home, said a citywide alert. All right, tomorrow I'll go to the mission building to get the new updated missions. And then I'll go to the market to sell materials to improve my parents' lives, said the protagonist. Hello, I'm here to upgrade my missions to level 2, he said as he came to the beautiful mission building. First of all, please fill out this form, said the woman at the reception desk to him. Right here, ready to go. Okay, I'll check your information, she said. Name Lin Han, age 18, student, and quite a specific class, she asked in surprise. There are 2 kinds of missions, one is assigned, usually between B and A ranks, and the other is random, with the mission level being chosen randomly. Which of these types of missions do you choose? The woman asked with an intimidating look. Random mission, Lin replied, startled by her gaze. After his words, she took out a blue magic ball from under the table, as if it contained another world. Please put your hand on this crystal ball and feel its energy, the woman continued to say, motioning the ball towards the main character. I thought this was another person trying their luck and wanting low-level missions, she thought to herself, looking at the monitor with one eye and Lin with the other. Your results have come in, she began to say. The woman began to read the result on the monitor. The system has selected a suitable mission. The mission is to go to the dungeon, find and destroy the Apostle of the Abyss. Also, you must get the Heart of the Abyss. She read the essence of the mission. The level of your mission. S rank? She asked in surprise and loudly. I accept this mission, Lin replied in a calm voice. Isn't that? She started to say. Sir, I assume you want to make a new choice? S-rank missions have no other outcome than death, for non-professionals like you. The woman tried to change the main character's mind, but there was no changing his mind. It's okay, I'll do it, he answered her. Then I choose this mission for you, she said calmly as she pressed the select button on the computer. And on the mission poll in the same building, it was highlighted that Lin Han had taken a rank S mission. Who is he? Why did he choose such a dangerous assignment? Sacrifice of life, I've never heard of such a thing before, is it a hidden category? The crowd began to discuss him. You have successfully commandeered this mission, good luck to you, said the woman. But then 3 people came up behind him. Hey, redhead, said the man in the center disrespectfully. I heard you got an S-class mission. Come with us and you'll complete it 100%. The man with the white armband on his arm continued to say. What do you say to that? He asked, leaning against the wall of the room. Descending into the main lobby, the bald guy repeated, standing in a pompous strut. Join us, I'll make sure you complete this mission. So do you agree? Nah, sorry, I'm not interested. I prefer to work alone, Lin replied with a wave of his hand. Bastard! Whispered the bald guy, looking for a fight. Don't make it harder for yourself, he shouted, swinging his fist at the hero. But Lin noticed it. In the next second, the main character throws the bald guy back with his foot from a U-turn, hitting him in the face. Go get lost, said the character, watching the bald guy's clumsy flight. Are you kidding me? What category of abilities do you have? You're more like a strong warrior. What a horrible monster, said the bald guy's friends, or henchmen, as Lin lowered his foot. Boss, are you all right? Should we finish with this upstart? The henchman said uncertainly. Here's something I never thought I'd be knocked down, with 1 foot by a man who looks like him, said their boss, wiping his face. Have you got any brains? You can't fight in a public place, he reassured his friends with aggression, as if sticking to the rules while the other didn't know what had come over him. If we can't do it the nice way, we'll do it the dirty way, brat. I'll make you beg on your knees, spoke the bald guy looking at the departing Lin. Then the hero came to the main market building. Hello, I'd like to sell equipment and materials, said Lin standing at the reception. All right, follow me, said the girl pointing to the stairs. Come in here, have a seat, she continued to say as she walked into her office, then immediately asked. What type of equipment do you want to sell? All of this, the hero replied, laying out a mountain of valuable items, weapons, and materials from her inventory. This is it? The girl asked, shocked. I apologize, sir, hold on a bit. I have to get our manager, he'll be here any minute, she said, not knowing what to do with this mountain. Mr. Lin, I apologize for keeping you waiting, said the voice of a man entering the office. Hello, I'm the branch manager of Hoyu City. My name is Lu. I'm a 46th level treasure hunting master, said the manager with a monocle smilingly. Wow, a 46th level treasure master. The market is really worthy of becoming one of the most powerful organizations in the world today, and it will be true, there are really some amazing people here, thought the protagonist. Mr. Lin, you really did an extraordinary move. You were able to move so much equipment and materials at one time. I look at this and I think we can give Mr. Lin 23 million for all of this, said Lu as he continued to smile. That's an incredible price, the hero replied to him. What about these 2 swords? He asked, taking out 2 swords from his inventory. Give one moment, Mr. Lin, I want to inspect them in detail, replied the manager, taking one of the swords in his hands. Dear God of Treasure Quest, grant me the ability to inspect all items. I will forever be your follower. Give me the ability to see through all things, Lu said, activating a magic circle over the item and in front of his eye. Mr. Lin, I have finished researching these 2 swords. These 2 items were supposed to be part of a set, though not complete, but 100% legendary. If you are willing to sell them to us, I can offer you 140 million for these 2 swords. The manager of the protagonist rejoiced at the good news. Agreed, Lin replied without thinking about the offer. This card is the VIP black card of our trading house. No matter what city you are in, you can enjoy the highest level of attention, said Lu, holding out the black card to the protagonist. Thank you, Manager Lu, Lin thanked him. I'd like to buy ability books from you, said the hero. I'd be happy to help you with that, replied the manager. System, help me improve this book 10,000 times. He appealed to the system, reading the book's ability. He would be able to see approaching danger at a huge radius. Great, now no danger can come near me. Now I think we can start the mission in the dungeon. The protagonist came to the Dungeon Information Center. Guest, here's all the information about the Apostle of the Abyss. We look forward to seeing you next time, said the man at the reception, giving an ancient scroll to Lin. Before, this dungeon was full of monsters. I didn't expect that it could become so prosperous now. He thought about the Dungeon Information Center. I wonder, is that an aura of death? It's not that big. Is it an ordinary person? All right, I'll find this Apostle of the Abyss for now, he continued to think, but knowing he was being watched. It was that foxy guy from the missions building. According to this map, the last appearance of the Apostle of the Abyss was here, said Lin, standing in the middle of the empty cave, but as he walked further he noticed something. It was a huge ugly creature that immediately started attacking the hero. What a freak you are, I'll greet you first, he said as he prepared to destroy this monster. The next moment, Lin summoned a strong lightning bolt that crushed the creature to the ground. The monster couldn't withstand this pressure. Is that it? Lin thought, not expecting it to be this easy. Not suddenly the monster resurrects and becomes stronger. The main character did not expect this turn of events. The monster with incredible speed almost hits the protagonist, but he manages to dodge the blow by bouncing back. Very strong. I lost 1,800 life points, but this frog only lost 800, said Lin, who still got hit by the blow. If you act like this, you're just a fish before the Apostle of the Abyss, he added, preparing to throw another punch. And what are you doing here? Hired rubbish of the 3 serpents, said the hero, suddenly appearing to the bald guy's group. You're so arrogant, how dare you stand up to the Apostle of Bareness? I've done my investigation, you have at least tens of millions of assets. And now they're all mine. Ha 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 ha, the bald mercenary said mockingly. You know I'm rich and powerful, but you still want to attack me, You're really not afraid of death, Lin said in a calm voice. When death comes, the mouth stays, said the mercenary smugly incomprehensibly as the creature ran at him behind his back. I'm a second stage master. I can deal with monsters like this, or even more 10th level monsters like a snap of my fingers, said the mercenary, chopping the monster into pieces with very fast movements. The mercenary's eye started to glow, showing the activation of his power. On the plus side of this situation, if I kill you right here and now, who will know about it? He said threateningly, pointing his sword at Lin. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to put a bark and subscribe. These you say what you like. It's very motivating. Thanks. Good luck to you.